Hello and welcome to your reading. This is going to be a collective reading for anyone and everyone watching this video, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful day or night wherever they are in this planet of ours. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We are going to be pulling a couple charms here to see and get you some signs and synchronicities that this reading could be for you. So let's get right into it. Oh, oh, this is cute. First, we have a key, a feather. We have what looks to be like some kind of European coin. It's hard to tell what kind of coin it is, but it just looks like a coin. Um, then we have a musical note, and hold on. I almost was like, is this a fish? No, it's a mermaid, and it's a mermaid showing their back. Like it's like the back of a mermaid, and that's their head with their hair kind of going in front. It's a little hard to see, I know. One day I'll have better lighting. I will be in the process of moving soon, so I don't know if you can see that better. But she's like sitting down almost, like Little Mermaid style. We have the musical note, and then we have a little tree here. Obviously, anything to do with, um, I feel like anything like related to Disney, whether you like Disney, whether you don't like Disney, whether you like Disney or singing Disney songs when you were a kid. Obviously, that Little Mermaid with the musical note kind of vibe it's giving me, but also something about how mystical and ethereal you are, and not just obviously your finances, but it's like how you want to earn your money is not of the traditional 9 to 5 cents. And I think that's something deeply rooted within you. And I feel like you have the key to like write your own story. Like you've always had the keys to sort of write your own story. I'm seeing this feather as like a pen and quill um, type feather, like a feather pen. And this musical note is almost like whether you are into anything music related, singing, dancing, an instrument, or even like it doesn't have to be classical music. It could just be like even electronic music or anything related to music, whether it's even like sound design or stuff like that. Um, Being like a sound tech for like a stage, theater, even. Um, there's something about a lot of these little charms that's like you truly want to earn your finances in a more unorthodox way. And I think that's something that's deeply rooted into like who you are as a person. Something about this is quite interesting. I want to get like a couple more. Okay. There's a some key that is a key to your roots. We have another tree and another key here. Oh, and correct me if I'm wrong. This almost looks like oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. Coral. Like from the sea, like a coral reef. I feel like hold on. I gotta look this up now because I know what kind of thing it's looking like. Sorry, I had a video playing earlier. Um it almost looks like a bush in a sense. See if I can find a better picture. Oh, hmm. I guess Oh, I'm finding pictures, but there's none that are like just the one I'm looking for because I don't know what it's called. I guess the best representation I have for it, this is probably the closest to what I'm picturing, is this. It's the way that, like, the little things are branching off on this little tree here. While it could be like a tree with no leaves, because these things are really small, so even this little tree here doesn't have leaves on it. I wouldn't doubt that this is a tree, but it looks more like a coral reef sort of thing instead of a tree. So, lots of symbolisms of the sea recently, which is very interesting. I believe you're becoming deeply connected with how you can make something your 9 to 5 that is like an unorthodox thing, like gain sort of finances off of it. But what I'm also hearing is this isn't going to happen with you just obviously sitting there looking pretty type deal. This is something that is going to be, I'm hearing groundbreaking for the work and effort that you put in. And I feel like some of you are putting work and effort, and whenever you're just sitting back, like um, looking like you're just sitting there not working on your passions, you're actually looking back at the things that you've created. You've seen all these amazing, I want to say, uh, creations shoot off of this one passion. You've seen all these things that you've created, all these little things that have branched off. This passion that's deeply rooted in you. And something about, oh, excuse me, something about this musical note. I feel like for whoever is going to be watching this and resonating with this, you have something related to whether it could be dance, it could be theater, like something music related. And I know I'm a dancer, so when it comes to something I know that's been on the rise lately is a lot of, I feel like a lot of dancers have been looking into how the K-pop industry works and functions, and how there is essentially a lot of different types of auditions that you could do. You don't have to be the idol that's singing there on the stage. You could be the backup dancer that still makes a decent living off of what they do. But also there's work that's put in. And I feel like you have done the groundbreaking work. Like something about the work that you do, it's like already been there, done that. And I feel like this is where finances come into play. And I'm kind of unsure as to why. Um, what I do feel like is that a lot of people in any sort of music industry like thing, there's always the, I want to say, the sector of the starving artist, to where there's an artist who's really good at what they do, but due to how it's not an orthodox way of uh, gaining income or money, it's just constantly sitting there and, okay, well, once I have the money, I'll get to my passions. And I feel like this is, my roommate's cat is here. You may have saw her tail in the background. Um, Hi, ma'am. Would you like to sit up here? Come on. Come on. There you go. There you go, ma'am. I'm gonna be reading cards, so you gotta find a way to get comfy. I feel like finances are a curiosity to you about something. And it's not like, it's kind of like what I was talking about with the K-pop industry. Like, it's not just Korean pop music, it's also Japanese pop music, Chinese pop music. There's a bunch of different, like, J-pop, C-pop, all sorts of different avenues. But it's also like thinking of the fact that you may not even have to be the person on stage. You could be the person that's setting up the stage or setting up the performance. Like these people need like clothing stylists and makeup stylists and stuff like that. I think there's an aspect of looking into a specific like industry that you have part of your passion connected to. It doesn't even have to be music, but I'm just using that music note is very resonating here. So I feel like people that are watching this are like connected to a collective of either theater kids or music nerds in just a sense, whatever it may be. Um, you are getting the idea that there is more to this sort of space that you could pursue even as a 9 to 5, like as a steady income. And I think there's a big uncertainty on like where to put yourself in that. But when the key came out with the other little coral reef tree there's something that you have already known, already learned that you can use in this industry. And I feel like you just need to have more. There's something about like being more well rounded about it. Or maybe even like writing out your skills and the things that you've created. Like almost making a portfolio, I guess. That could be resonating for you. Let's see what the cards have to say. Let's get a clear, honest message for the collective here. What's going on? We have the Fool card, which says beginnings. You feel like a new beginning not necessarily needs to happen, but I feel like everyone is of the mind of like, I need to pursue something that is I just felt like burning some incense because I completely forgot to start burning some incense before I started this. You feel like a complete sense of not urgency, but like there's a knowledge about where you want to go in life, and it's like you know you need a steady income for something. And it doesn't even have to be much, but it has to just be enough for you to continue what you want to continue with your passions. So when it comes to the Fool card and all these new beginnings that we can have for ourselves, it can look different to a lot of different people. Like it can, like I was saying, with the whole, like if you're a theater kid and you want to work in theater, you could be like part of the stage crew, part of the sound design or sound tech crew. Like there's a lot of different jobs in these spaces that I feel like you could work in and work for. And I feel like partially it does scare you because the fool is a little bit like nervous here about to like step forward, but that's where the nervousness in the like sort of general depiction of the fool, there's always that dog that's like, hey, don't like fall off that cliff there. And I think that's you. You're more acting like the dog that's trying to steer you away from this like cliff edge than actually pursue what you know to be true, that is there. And I think this is something that you may have looked for other like avenues for here. But it makes you really happy to like look forward that is your future, that is your life, that is your fulfillment. A new beginning in general, just seeing the general part of this, a new beginning makes you happy. And hold on, I want to just check on the cat really quick. Give me 1 second. Alright, apologies for the interruption. You are getting to, I feel like you're getting to a realization about your happiness. Like, I feel like someone here is truly realizing, like, you have a knack for something, you have I feel like it's like someone even being a little naive in calling themselves like the artist that they are, whether it's like um, you're just a dancer, you're just this, or you're like, oh, I do kind of dance, or I do kind of sing. It's like, no, you're now stating this as like, this is who you are, this is what you do. And I keep looking at that coin here, and I'm like, I feel like you are feeling like you can actually pursue something financially with this. And I'm not sure exactly what it may be, but it almost feels like any step in what feels like the right direction is going to lead you to this area of confidence, because it's not just about happiness. Something fulfills you enough to where you feel confident to call it what it is, call yourself who you are. Oh, excuse me. That was a little confirmation there. Seeing yourself in this light is very brand new to you, but it's not something that it's like brand new to you, but it's not. I think it's the act of feeling like you are that singer, you are that dancer, you are that person who knows things. Um, you're seeing it in a brighter light than before. And I think this is where it kind of confuses you on where to go financially, because it's almost like you understand the not even the act but the life of the starving artist. And I almost want to explain that it's not like you can't do something that you're passionate about as your 9 to 5. I think it's always the journey and how we get there. There's always going to be things branching off, like those tree branches in the beginning. There's always going to be different things connected to what we're passionate about. And I feel like the fact that you have explored so many different paths about your passion, that has allowed you to gain so much knowledge about something. And that's what I think that you are truly being confident in. You're truly being confident in your knowledge of something. And I think that's the thing that's going to take you far in sort of any sort of industry in this passionate field of yours, because it doesn't have to be music. I'm just getting music as a big part of this. Listen, I could be speaking to some musicians out there, and I feel like some of you have to get comfortable with maybe there's an audition to go out and look into. And to not stop working on your, like, creations, that your passionate way of doing something isn't just sitting there and like painting all the time or painting the same type of thing every single time, because this person is painting in the Eight of Pentacles reversed. There's something about it to where like I'm gonna use the music example, because when it comes to singers and dancers, we're not just singing and dancing all the time. We are actively making choices and working on our own bodies, and singers working on their own voices and vocal cords to be able to not only practice certain things but train our body to do the dance or sing the song better. And it takes a lot of knowledge to understand what your body needs, not just what the human body needs, because that's a general thing that we all kind of understand. Eat your fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. Hi, ma'am. And so you have been really working on a lot of unseen things, but I feel like if you've been feeling discouraged on what you're working on, ma'am, if you've been feeling discouraged on what you're working on, don't. Keep going. Even if you have to like take some time, like the best example I can give is because this is happening for me currently a bit, is just this sort of specific energy I'm about to describe. I I have been trying to work out almost every single weekday for my dancer self to like actually uh, build my body stronger and more agile every day and build my stamina up even more. Because while I feel like I'm strong, I want to be stronger. That's my goal. But my lady time just hit me. And if you know anything about the chemicals and hormones that go through your body, like right before your cycle hits, um, it can have you resting more than ever before. So I haven't been like kicking myself in the fact that like, oh well, I hadn't worked out all this week, but it's also like my body was not ready to take on that load of working out because my body is doing a million other different things currently. And that that energy right there where you know you need to rest on things, you know you need to kind of maybe sit and study certain things. There is a bigger picture to your passion that you, I feel like, truly see, and you may be the only one who sees it in the sense of like when people are maybe in your same shoes, all they're thinking about is the next audition, the next audition, the next audition. Or if they're thinking about, I got to get this bit of content out if it comes to music or singing, whatever it may be. You are thinking of the bigger picture all the time, and you have been. Which is why the Ten of Cups is out here, because it's not just Ten of Cups of fulfillment, it's Ten of Cups of like how all the little like intricacies of how something can work, how something works in general. Like a dancer doesn't just dance 24/7, learn choreography 24/7 without working on their body, without working on a certain sort of diet plan. And not just a diet plan that like stricts what they're eating or limits what they're eating. It's like a diet plan that gives them the good stuff and continues to let someone eat however they want to eat. And that's the limitations of some people because they don't necessarily uh, want to get into that or know about that just yet, but you do. You know a lot about your craft here that's like truly fulfilling to you. Like, I think all the moving parts are really fulfilling to you. So I feel like looking into jobs that offer those things, it can allow you to step into the door of this industry. Now, I don't know if this is something as simple like when I think of dance, I think of going and applying to be a receptionist at a dance studio. I don't know if it's things like that or if it's something else to where you feel like you can go move forward into applying yourself in a way, not necessarily just an audition, but like applying the knowledge that you have into the skills that you have, and even maybe educating people on certain things. Like I don't know how you want to exactly apply these things because it's very intuitive to you, but I feel like you are truly discovering more ways to apply your knowledge to your craft here. Page of Wands reversed. It does make you a bit apprehensive about it, though. Oh. Oh, I see. We have Queen of Wands reversed. We have the Hierophant, which is symbolized by the goddess Juno and the word tradition. Because this is the goddess tarot that we're working on. Someone from your past made you feel like that you couldn't go into these areas, or maybe they like demonize them more than they actually should, because maybe they're actually a lot more helpful, that these other different jobs that you could go into the thing that you're passionate about, oh, that's gonna like it's like someone like talking shit about a certain job, like um okay, the I don't know why I'm getting this, but it's almost like thinking that like a sound tech for like theater and stuff, or just even any sort of stage performance, um, going all the way from theater to like a metal concert or EDM shows and festivals and things like that. Some people think like, oh, all that the techs have to do is set up a microphone and plug in some cables and that's it. They don't really do anything. Like someone a long time ago made you feel that that was like meaningless, or you'd get made fun of for going into that sort of position. in your passion. But when you know the deeper level of what you're passionate about, you know that those quote unquote sound techs, that those things aren't like being lazy. Like when it comes to a sound tech, um, my family, my dad and my brother are both drummers, so I know a lot about all of the whole like performance and doing gigs and stuff like that. I don't actually like help out with setting up. I have helped out just little things here and there, but my brother, my older brother, he is the sound tech, and he tells me every day all the little things that they have to do to get things ready for either whether it's a concert, whether it's a theater thing, because he works for a place that does multiple things. He goes into detail of like, yeah, I had to do this today, I had to do that, and then this was kind of cool, and then I was setting this thing up, and then this happened. Just telling me stories about like his work. But that example I'm giving right now is like someone made you feel that there was less to something than you already know, that there's more to something than just being lazy on the job, or they get paid to do like super easy work when actually like it's not easy work at all. It is work. Like regardless of what the job is, it is work. So we had the Queen of Wands reversed come out, um, the Hierophant, Eight of Cups, Ace of Swords, and Six of Pentacles reversed. You are done giving your knowledge to people who aren't going to either, not necessarily here, abide by the rules of it. Which, in my mind, I see that as you are giving people advice of this is how it's done, this is how it happens, this is the work of what goes into these things. And someone is like, but yeah, but can I just like get up on the stage and start performing? Like, just give me the microphone. And they're like, no, like, we need to do the lights, the sound, we need to even like see your performance, you need to rehearse your performance. And you're like, this other person feels like, oh, well, I can just go up on stage and just do what I need to do. When in reality, there is a lot of production that goes into a performance. Now, this could be a whole metaphor, or this could literally be what you're getting into. Um, there's production to a performance, even if it's just the production of how you work to have a good performance at your job. And you're leaving behind anyone that's not going to be accepting of the truth. The Ace of Swords here is like a sword of truth here, your word of truth that isn't just your truth, it is the truth. The accepting that, hey, there's work that needs to be done, and if you're not willing to do it, well, I'm not going to give you the advice. Because it's that aspect of like asking someone, well, are you ready? Like, you don't have to be ready 100%, but you can still work to get ready, is also like what you're maybe explaining to people. And how, if you're not really willing to accept the give and the take of this, uh, this passion, this job, this, I want to say even work ethic in general, then you don't deserve these people. You don't deserve the energy that they waste, like, or that you waste on them, kind of a thing. You don't deserve to even, it's like even saying that to them, like, you don't deserve this knowledge if you're not going to actually follow through with it. And I feel like you've been wanting to say that for a while, but something about it is like part of you may have felt like these people in the past, of like you just want to get up on the metaphorical stage and just perform. But there's a level of acceptance in these things that we have to have, of like, all right, like we want to do this, we want to do this passionate thing, but we have to level with ourselves here. We have to be honest and be grateful that there is a journey to where we want to just be on the stage and perform. And I feel like you are greatly accepting of it now, but you weren't in the past, and that's something you had to unlearn or just learn to accept, because we all enjoy the excitement of quick success. And we all enjoy the excitement of like being center stage in our work, and maybe not center of attention, but like we have good performance. Like, not necessarily like there's a crowd cheering us on, but there is that energy of like you yourself are cheering you on because you know you had a good performance. You know you had a created a good show. And I feel like this is something that you had to unlearn and learn at the same time of like, hey, the work that goes into these things isn't just something that like you had to learn. I think it was something that made you super super curious the more that you would discover about it. And the fact that like, oh, when we actually like plan a production, um this performance looks 1,000 times better, this show looks 1,000 times better, this work looks 1,000 times better. And I feel like that's where you started to grow your gratitude for the journey instead of the destination kind of metaphor. Huh? I feel like some type of. I think I got it. Ah, yes, there it is. A little eyelash. Oh, another one. Sort of, kind of. Hmm. I think you're not giving people an inch. Like when it comes to, hey, how did you do this thing? How'd you do this thing? And you're telling them like, well, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of work, and it's not something that's gonna happen in a month's time. If you spend every day of a month, you probably will see progress, but there's so much that you've learned over, I'm hearing 10 years in something that you can't explain to anyone. You can't teach them that. You can't teach them the time that it took to learn something. And that's something that you're trying to explain to people. And as soon as they're like apprehensive about it, it's like, well, if you're not ready to like get into that or deal with that, then I guess you're not ready to actually like put in the work, put in the effort. And this is something that uh, I was feeling collectively like um, I kept going back to this conversation I had with a viewer in my Twitch stream, and I'm gonna I'm gonna shout them out. Talamir, there's someone named Talamir. That's their Twitch name. They come to my stream sometimes, and recently they have been trying to just vent about how they've been having conversations with people saying like, oh well, I can't do something, or they try to go do something that they really want to do and really want to learn, but they're not willing to put in the time for it, and it's not something that's going to happen within the first year of you doing something. If it does, then that's great, and maybe you worked to actually put yourselves in those places to make it work. But most people aren't even willing to do that within the first year of working on something new or working on something that they're passionate about. And this viewer of mine was explaining how, like, I go and I like constantly am studying music in this one aspect because that's where this conversation kind of resonates with the whole music thing. Um, they were explaining how they like go into depth into like studying like music and music theory and all the different little like really like all the intricacies of music and DJing or just creating their own music in a sense. And it's not something that they learned in 6 months' time, in a year's time, in 2 years, 3 years. Like it was over 5 years, 5, 6 years, probably even longer than that. I forget how long it was exactly because I forget if they were talking about something specific or if they were just talking about that. But they've been at it for years and they've learned so much and have gotten to such a great like point with it. And people look at them and they're like, I want to be able to do what you do type energy. Maybe that's not really exactly what's happening with this viewer, but they've been having conversations with people who are saying, I want to do this thing, but I don't want to put in the time because, oh, I can't do it, or I don't have time for that, or I can't really do that. And what they're saying is that they're not willing to do it. It's not that they can't, they're not willing. When you say you can't do something, that means you physically, emotionally, and mentally cannot do something. Like how when I was going through my cycle and how it started, I physically could not get myself up to go work out and work on my dance stuff. My body needed to rest. I gave my body what it needed. And that's different from saying I'm not willing to do something to I literally can't do something. And there is things that halt us in life and stop us in life, and we have to accept that that's not us not being willing. And I think some people are confusing those two things, because a lot of people really are not willing to do the work. And that was the big conversation that we were having on my stream, and it was really nice to know that, like, I could be there for them, and the viewer saying like, hey, like, I've met people like that, and I even was that at some point. Like, I feel like when we're teenagers, it's the one time where we feel like, oh well, I can't do that because I look on social media and there's already someone that's 10 times better than me. But you're only seeing the after product of what probably took them months to work on, months to learn, even a year or maybe 2 years to learn. I saw an animation, like a couple seconds of a clip of an animation that was 3 minutes long, but it took 3 years for this person to make because they did it all on their own. And that video went viral, and people are probably watching that animation on YouTube somewhere. And I really hope that that person finds success. But when you really put in the work for something, the success that you gain from it, I feel like I'm hearing it's going to be tenfold than what someone who's trying to gain quick success from. And I feel like I'm talking to people who are healing from a lot of uh, Queen of Wands energies that are very like, oh, well, quick success is the only way to do something. But that's going to make your tower crumble. That's going to make your stability crumble. 10 of Pentacles reversed here. Tenfold. You don't even see how amazing your success can be until you meet people that say they can't do something that you currently always do and work on. And I think that's the real enlightenment here with the Ace of Wands. You walk away from all of this BS with people saying, oh, well, quick success is just the way to go. And I feel like there's just a person that, like, feeds off of that quick success that you just kind of, like, felt down about, but you're like, no, I gotta separate myself from this energy. 8 of Cups. I have to, like, walk away from this. I have to walk away from this, this conversation even. Because even when my viewer was talking about those conversations that they were having with people, they eventually realized that, like, I can't explain it to them anymore. Like, I can't constantly tell them, hey, like, you have to look forward to the journey. You have to be grateful for the journey. And it's not just the, like, being grateful for the journey because you'll reach the destination at one point, but you don't know when you're going to reach that destination. You are going to have so many things that either derail you, or things that you want to go do in life that you want to even maybe just like somebody wanting to pursue their passions, but also wanting to go back to school. That's two different things, two different commitments there. And that's going to be something that's going to take you and change your direction every which way. And I feel like you don't really see what's coming for you and your success. But I also feel like it takes a little bit more of give and take from you to sit here and accept what you're good at and what you're knowledgeable at. Because I feel like you are someone that is truly, truly knowledgeable at what you do. Like, you understand the key to everything that creates success. Even the sacrifice of the 10 of Swords that creates success. We have 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, and 10 of Swords out here. And if we get that other 10 of Wands, oh boy. Acceptance, enlightenment. And I feel like right now, it's been hard for you to see this success because sometimes our minds get so wrapped up in the, oh, well, I haven't had success in the past. And I feel like part of you, that's where this little, like, person, it's not even like the fact that they're a mermaid. It's like the fact that this figure is, like, looking, like, outward. And their back is, like, the focal point of this little charm here. I think that's a little better of a... I don't have a camera that focuses because it's just a webcam, and it's a really nice one, mainly because it does 60 frames and if I had the graphics card for it, it could basically shoot in 4K, but it's a webcam, so it doesn't have autofocus on it. Hopefully in the future I can have a better camera that has autofocus on it, because I would love to be able to like show you guys in detail certain things. I feel like you truly understand the sacrifices you've made, and maybe that's the thing that you keep looking back on and feeling a bit down about. But what is so true in your mind and in your heart is you wouldn't work and continue to work on these things if it didn't make you happy, even with all the sacrifices in the past. And maybe there's been one last sacrifice that has been making you feel like that your whole structure is being toppled over, but in reality it's something that's making it stronger here. It's something that you are allowing to make stronger, because even maybe looking at people who just want quick success, listen, I feel like that's a lot of the sentiment online these days, is people just want the quick success of something. They don't really want to work for it, and you constantly see all these little things of how to go viral on certain social medias, and it's like I'm hearing the words from Collective like, shut up, like what happened to the genuine artists out there, the genuine people who want to put in the work for stuff? Like, that's what you want to see. And even if you see people in a similar passion and you posting things on social media and you see the work that they put in, I'm feeling there's like a double-edged sword here. Like, you feel sad that like, oh well, I'm not putting in the work, and it's like, no, you have put in the work. You're just doom scrolling on your phone like everyone does now and then, which I feel like to look at social media on your phone is not a bad thing. It's just if you have some free time and some time to kill, it's what you're gonna do. And sometimes you want to look into that content, but also this other side of it is like when you feel down about, damn, I should be doing that, or I should be learning that stuff, or I should continue to study. This is where you have a moment of being proud that there are still people that accept the work that needs to be done. And I think that's the thing that has becoming super healing with this, because it's a truth that not only hurts, but also is something that you know that you can grow from. Like, the Ten of Swords is just a mini death card in the tarot. It is literally, there's no more energy left in this certain way of thinking, way of being. And I feel like that's what you're feeling lately, is the fact that that's not going to grow and continue to support the Ten of Pentacles abundance here. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Looks like I need some more coffee. Probably won't make another cup of coffee after this read. Let's get some more out here. I'm really curious on like what other burdens and things is Collective shedding and accepting. What other advice do they need? We have the Star, which is also the goddess Inanna. Or, yeah, Inanna. I could be saying that wrong. You could totally come for me if I'm saying that wrong. King of Pentacles coming out sideways, but I think it wants to be somewhat upright. Almost like the King of Pentacles is uncertain about the creations that they've built, uncertain about the maturity that they've gained around something. Because, oh, well, the whole world just wants to be in a certain way and in a certain light and just wants quick success. And I feel like partially you know that to be true when it comes to the music industry, and we were talking about music earlier, when it comes to all of the music related things, there is a part to that industry that's like quick moving. We gotta go, we gotta do these shows, we gotta have this promo, we gotta do this sponsorship. There's like so many little things that feel like it's constantly moving. And I feel like while it is constantly moving, you can still find breaks in the chaos if you were to choose to go into those industries. And I think that there's a path that you know is right for you, and it's like I'm hearing collective say, well, I don't know how to find it. And I can't tell you how to find it. That's not really what these tarot cards can really tell. They can only pretty much give you the advice that if you keep looking, you will find it. But you have to look, and you have to ask the hard questions. And you have to ask questions that you may not even know to ask, and tell, like, ask someone, like, hey, is there anything else I need to know? Like, any other little things that I should know that people don't normally ask. And I feel like there is a job opportunity in what you choose and love to do, and I feel like you just need to explore it even more here. Like, understand that there's more light in this area, and light is in, like, this is like the path that you're kind of purposefully meant for. There's more light to that path than I think you are exploring currently. And I think part of you have been healing, parts of you, and a lot of you, I feel like, have been healing from the things that people have said in the past, because it's things that we try to get over, but we constantly see. It's like someone saying, oh yeah, that job is just like a lazy person's job, or it's super easy and it's super this, it's super that. But when people actually talk about it, they do talk about the work that's put in. But then you hear, like, someone now currently saying the same old rhetoric that you used to hear in the past, and it brings it back up for you, like, oh, I thought we'd been over this, I thought we were over this. But the fact that someone else is continuously trying to perpetuate a narrative that isn't true about a particular path and particular passion, um, it hurts a little bit. It feels like you're taking like 20 steps backwards in the healing journey that you've had. But this is the true acceptance of, like, that's not how you choose to do things, and that's not how you have to do things, because people genuinely will continue to see the work because it's consistent. That's the big thing I think I wanted to get out in the beginning, but also this is something that probably was supposed to be saved for the end. The work that you do and the work that you put in is consistent. And you ask anyone in any sort of art type thing, consistency is key, because consistency not only gives you practice for what you want to do, but it shows people, like, you really want this. Like, this is something, like, you can't help but do, like, to do. And when people ask you that, like, you're like, yeah, like, I just can't help but this is my thing. Like, this is what I want to do. What it's like something, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to create. And if I have to go into these little things, sure, I'll go into that to create my dreams, to create a path towards my dreams. And this is where inspiration may strike you at a really, really odd time. And I think this is going to be at a time where you're almost at, like, a crossroads with something. Like, you are at, like, a fork in the road with what you want to do and choose for your job. But it's like Spirit kind of had to show it to you in this way. They kind of had to show you, hey, this is where you will work best. And I feel like something about it has been apprehensive, but I feel like it's because it's going to take a little extra work than you thought. But it's not work that's not worth it, if that makes sense, you know? Something about this new enlightenment of an idea of how you want to do something is going to provide a sense of security in uncertainty, in uncertain moments. The moon here, because when the moon card comes out, this is a card that we are in a dark forest, and the only thing that is lighting up the area is the full moon, and it's easy to see certain things in the dark as not exactly like what it seems like. It's something that we have to be secure in our own mind and have faith in our own heart and push beyond the illusions and deceit that people will try to place on us, or that the world and society will try to place on us when it comes to, oh, quick success, quick success. Like, that's what I keep hearing, is like the illusion of quick success is falling to the wayside. And the people that are going to want to watch people who just want to gain quick success are people who want quick rewards off of the attention that they give to these people who gain quick success. They constantly want the attention, the attention, the attention. And that's exhausting. Like, that sounds more exhausting than just taking a little bit of extra effort towards your passions. And it's something that, like, you can work like it's almost like working as like an office assistant, or just like a handyman at like some place that you truly didn't think you'd be working at, but also it's still in your line of interest. It's still in line with your passions. Like, let's say you really like art, and you maybe want to apply to work for an art museum. It's not really exactly what you want to do. You may want to have your art in an art museum one day, but maybe even just working at an art museum as like an office assistant can help pursue that path, because we all have to start somewhere, and it's not going to be easy for us to acknowledge what is best for us when it comes to the workplace of things, but it's not going to be a usual 9 to 5 is what I'm feeling. It may feel like a usual 9 to 5, but it's not going to be the same old 9 to 5 that you're used to. 9 of Cups. It's going to be something that brings you to your goals and your dreams. When you take this idea, take this passion, move through fear, doubt, lies, deceit, and illusions, you will still see your goals accomplished on the other end. You're moving this Ace of Wands through this Moon card and bringing it to the 9 of Cups, and seeing how beneficial this path truly is for you. Seeing how it can bring, it can bring like a bound of stability, or bounds of stability, a bout of stability. Not about, but a bout. I don't know what that phrasing actually means, but that's the words that are coming out. A bounty, I think, is maybe the word that Spirit was trying to get me to say. A bounty of creation, a bounty of stability. Oh my god, and I just noticed there's little moon crescents on this card. And I feel like everything that you do, you're gonna have a little sprinkle of like, I went through tough times. I went through things and I healed them. There's another moon here. I healed these things because I knew it wasn't going to lead me towards greatness if I didn't heal these things. Like, that's the biggest thing I feel like you are grateful for, is the fact that you have gotten to experience something the way that you have. And it's okay that you don't necessarily see the way right away, but it's the fact that you actively choose it once you see it. Once you get it, once you understand, I could just go in this direction. It's not exactly what I wanted to do with my life, but like, this could lead me to greatness. This could lead me to just being able to explore more of the art museum industry and how people actually get into those things and stuff like that, and what art museums even look for in that aspect. And I feel like that's the biggest thing here. Like, you are exploring something in such a brand new way that I don't think you ever really had the confidence to do this. That's the biggest thing that you've healed, is you've now shed the 10 swords. You've shed the skin of yours of like, you can't do something, you can't do something, you can't do something. But it's because it wasn't that you couldn't do something. It said, well, you said that I'm not going to go in that direction because that's not where my passions want to be. But that's where it's like, we all have to get our foot in the door somewhere when it comes to something that is like artistic. It's not going to be an orthodox way of doing something. And also, I hate to break it to anyone, you're not just going to get famous off social media. That's not going to get you job opportunities or opportunities like you think it will. It is a very small percentage of people that tend to go viral with things. And when they do go viral, it's only that one video. It takes a lot of luck and a lot of planning and a lot of time sometimes for people to consistently like go viral or gain the viewership that they so desire. And when you see the viewership, that doesn't always translate to money and income. um, I've seen creators and artists do something, and just recently their stuff starts to pick up, but they've been posting for like 8 years, you know? So it's something that like you quickly understand, okay, well, I gotta get the foot in the door of my passion somewhere, and you want to keep it in your life somewhere. So I feel like this could help you not only explore something to its highest extent, but it's like its highest extent in all the ways it can branch out, like those trees there, because it's something rooted in what you already do. And you already have the keys to this internal castle. We have wisdom, which is the high priestess here, but it's in reverse. You already know something. You truly already have the keys to something. You have the key to your it's like you have the key to your passions, because this smaller one kind of makes me think of like inner child, like you've always had this passion for something, but you also have the key to something greater, and that key is the knowledge in how you pursue something in a very unorthodox way than is what your orthodox way is of doing something. And I think that you've had to see this from a new light in order to be able to move forward confidently, because sometimes we aren't ready, and that's okay. Like, that is 100% okay to not be ready for something. And I feel like we're gonna pull some sacred geometry cards really quick. Or I keep getting, I keep wanting to do an oracle deck at the end, but the spirit keeps calling to this tarot deck, so I want to see what clarifying things that collective needs to focus on or just needs advice on. Oh. High Priestess came out. Sorry, if you're just listening to this, the High Priestess came out. Twice. Do I need to say more? Do I need to say anything to that? You have weaved a web of your creations, your passions, your dreams, your goals, and even your healing here. Now it's time to anchor it in truth and in confidence. We have Chakana here, number 16. The numbers may resonate, so 1 plus 6 is 7. Which, that's the one card that we did not see, because we have 6 of Pentacles and 8 of Pentacles. We have not seen 7. An invitation. Oh. This card is screaming that you have to give yourself the invitation to your own goals and your own future. You have to give this energy to yourself. And on the bottom of the deck, we have number 42 in reversed is Nucleus. Which, let's go to the book just to kind of, there's a lot of different cards in this deck, so excuse me for not being able to remember all of them. Oh, there's no reverse aspect of this card. This is the square cross of the Adian people of South America. It relates to the Southern Cross, the predominant feature in the night sky. and also to a concept of spirit moving in the lives of the people. Here, the steps or levels of the Chakana indicate the progression of movement from matter to spirit. It is the shaman's journey and the path of the initiate. That's all I need to read for that, because it's not like a specific shaman's journey of like spiritual things. The journey you took for your passion is like familiar and similar to the exact journey of a shaman. And a shaman's journey is something that takes years. And you put in those years of work, those years of effort, and that's what makes you different from everyone else here. And it's almost like you're being given the invitation by spirit to say, like, yes, you are a little bit of an expert in something, and you don't even need to say the word expert. It's like you have knowledge of your own journey, and the fact that it took years for you to understand all these things. You may have not been able to do everything that the experts have been able to do, but you understand it. You understand everything about it. Let's go to number 42, the nucleus. We're going to read the reverse because I feel like this somewhat is not all of the book may resonate, because we're going to take the little keywords and have them like help me verbalize what I feel with this, because also the nucleus card is almost this card of like being at the center of yourself here. The reverse aspect states that you feel hemmed in, unable to move away from the cycle that surrounds you. The paralyzing effect of the situation has you wondering whether you should seek psychic refuge and avoid the situation altogether. And okay, this may be a wise decision for a short time, but gather your courage and resources during this period, for you will soon be required again to move into action and take control of your life. Get some rest and prepare for the next round. Isn't that really all that we talked about, though? Was the fact that you're not beating yourself up for getting that rest. It's the fact that you know this has been leading you and guiding you into something brand new. I think you're truly actively ready to believe in yourself on something here. And actually see it for what it is, instead of just you feeling down about how the way things turned out, how life works, how these people always view short success as grand, great success, when it's just, no, that's short-term success that you got there, bud, you know? And I feel like, what's on the bottom of the deck here? The Chariot card. Forward movement. It literally says movement. You know what you need to do. But make sure you are getting your rest, drinking your water. Even if you can't exercise fully, go take a walk. Go do what you need to do and allow yourself to feel these freeing feelings. Because it's something that you've truly, truly desperately wanted to explore before, but I feel like you didn't have the courage for it. And I think someone in the past may have encouraged you to push yourself in the wrong directions. That, like, let's say someone suggested that you work for an art museum or whatever, like that metaphor I was mentioning earlier, of like you want to put your work in an art museum, but you'd rather now find that working for an art museum as an office assistant may be good for you. And it's almost like someone tried to push you in the direction of, you could be the manager or the director of an art museum. Wouldn't that be great? And you're like, whoa, that is a way too big of a step for me. Like, I don't even think I could get to there. Like, don't we gotta start small first? And then they're like, yeah, but then those people just never get anywhere when they start small, is like what it feels like conversation wise. And I feel like now you're realizing, like, yeah, maybe partially they were right, but they weren't. Just because that they were right and maybe you should have gone in that aspect, I don't think they were right in how they wanted you to do something. Like, maybe they were like, yeah, you could start out as an office assistant and then work your way up and work your way up, work your way up. And it's like, you don't really want to work your way up. You don't have to. If you just want to get that one little easy, not really easy, but like actual just standard job in line with your passions, that's a great place to start. And I feel like that's the one and only place to start for you currently. So that is all I have for you, because I think you know exactly what to do. And I want to thank you for letting me read your cards. Thank you for watching. And if you guys want any personal or private readings, let me know. Check out my website. And sometimes on my Twitch streams, we do read tarot. I think I'm going to save those for Saturdays because those are kind of fun. So every Friday, I do a little dance stream. Every Saturday, I think I'm going to try and do some tarot because I try to do other things and then I just get way too tired. So, because I really dance my little butt off every Friday, but we'll see. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read your cards. And that is all I have for you. Bye.